Well, hello there all you absolutely magnificent people, and welcome back to another episode of An Ecologist Plays, where we are back in Empires of the Undergrowth. And look, today it is time for Drive Them Back, where we are back facing the driver ants, and hopefully we can manage to pull it off even while we are playing with the challenge mode on. And again, we are going to go for fast responder. That does seem to be a nice little one to use, as the medics do get the wounded individuals back to the fight more quickly. And that is the Matabele Ants deal. They get to heal their soldiers. So let's jump right in, shall we? And here we are once more. Let's excavate back to that there.
This Matabele queen has located the perfect spot to found a new colony. Surrounded in all directions by termite mounds, securing a steady supply of food should be no problem. Her raiders are spoiled for choice.
Okay, so we've excavated a few areas. Here we are going to also just burrow through to some termites. We're going to dig through to the world outside as well. So we have just established in an old termite mound, and yeah, sometimes they do that. Sometimes Matabele Ants do establish in old termite mounds, although not always the case. Most often what they will do is they will establish around trees or rocks or places like that. But it is not unheard of for them to establish exactly like where we are now, in an old termite mound. We're just going to expand our food tiles there as well. And then we're going to dig through to this little bunch of food up there. I believe those are some termites. So let's see.
Unfortunately for this colony, prosperity is about to turn into peril. Not far from here, a vast army of Dorilus nigricans driver ants have established a temporary outpost. Like their New World counterparts, the Eceton army ants, they are nomadic and will send out daily marauding columns in search of food. The local termite mounds will not go unnoticed for long.
Okay, so unfortunately, yeah, that is the case. Not far from the nest,
assassin bugs, Acanthaspis patax, are on the move. Their name is well earned, and the Matabele would do well to steer clear. The nymphs are known for decorating their bodies with the corpses of their victims. This behavior intrigues the ants, particularly if the bodies are familiar. Overly curious scouts will often find themselves added to the pile.
There we go. There is an assassin bug right over there. I think that is the only one we currently have. I don't think we've got any others. And as previously, we will just have to face them properly. We should not go for any one of them that actually do have that corpse camouflage activated, you know, where they've got dead ants on the back of their bodies, on their abdomens. Okay, we're just going to do a quick little raid over here.
Battle has begun.
We should be able to get enough termites to just go back to our nest. Yeah, we only had 2 extra that we actually killed that we can't carry back, so that's great.
The first driver ant scouts can be seen encroaching on the termite mound to the northwest.
Okay, so there comes the first driver ant. Now, like the army ants, as the narrator they mentioned, like the army ants, they are semi-nomadic. They will be staying a little bit longer in an area than the army ants would. But they are nomadic and they don't have to harvest their food sustainably. Instead, they can come in and they can wipe out the prey species potentially. Generally, they won't, but there have been cases where they did do that. Okay, what we're also going to do here is just build a few normal workers of the Matabele Ants. We're not going to be using them to carry food or anything like that. We are just going to use them to excavate the nest and do the usual nest chores. Now, our driver ants are, of course, wiping out or attacking the termites here. I don't think they'll wipe them out in the first night. Hopefully not, otherwise we are really screwed. But now we are just going to attack the next mound, because I think this one... No, this one does not actually have any more soldiers, interestingly enough, there. But this mound over here will be a good one to attack. Okay, once we've killed those 2, it is back to the nest. And there we go. That was a perfect raid. Unfortunately, one did attack an earwig and decided, you know what, this is a better prize than our actual termite we were carrying. Oh, the driver ants, of course, really attacking this termite mound. I really hope, yeah, no, the termites are putting up a very good defense there. Unfortunately, there's another wave of driver ants coming. Now, what we are going to do now is get ready to potentially, once this wave of soldiers come back of the driver ants, we're going to attack the tail end thereof. Oh, there go the stink ants. Oh, okay. Thankfully, I have not excavated the tunnels in such a way that they actually want to pass through our nest, so we are fine for now. But I'm going to attack, hopefully, that tail end right there. I don't have any medics yet, so any ants we lose are lost completely. Unfortunately, no, here comes another wave of soldiers. Okay, you know what? We are going to attack the termites down here. This seems a safer bet. While we don't have medics and we don't have the strength in numbers yet, that's what we're going to do. Unfortunately, it's right at the point where the termites go back to the nest. So that was extremely unfortunate. And of course, there is now also an agama, because why not? I really do love the idea of the agama, or the look of the agama here. They really are gorgeous. And now, of course, we've got to get some food. And the best source of food now is all these termites that are underground. And after this, we are going to get some medics. Okay, there we go. Big earwig.
The battle has begun.
And some smaller earwigs as well. And some nymphs even as well. They were, of course, no match for my ants. But let's get some medics now, finally. Here come some more stink ants past here. Hopefully we won't be under attack by them, but I think some of our soldiers most likely will encounter them now. Okay, so here we go. Oh, unfortunately that one, yeah, that one is going to die now. Okay, but yeah, medics can actually help them.
Night falls, and the clearing between the termite mounds will soon be scuttling with nocturnal predators.
Okay, so what we now have is an assassin bug here with armor. We've got an earwig, a big one. We've got the Hottentotta, the alligator sawback scorpion right over there as well. So we've got to try and be careful about where we go. There's another one, but this one's armor has almost fallen off. There we go. I think it has actually just fallen off. So what we can do is actually bring out our Matabele soldiers over to this side. Add another one to the mix. And then take out this assassin bug so that we can actually get past to this termite mound over here. And there we go. It is also now dead. Great stuff. Okay, now let's go. There are some termites here. Come on.
A few moments later.
Unfortunately, this was not perfectly timed. And yeah, we are now chased away by the soldiers again. Unfortunately. That was a very good offense, I must say, by the termites. And here come the driver ants once more.
The driver ants are back. Unchecked, they will eventually exhaust the Matabele's food supply. If their incursion into this area becomes too costly, however, they may not return.
There is a wafer trapdoor spider as well. Oh my goodness me. Okay, let's go grab some termites, shall we? There is the assassin bug again. Thankfully by this time his armor has fallen off. So yeah, it seems that the adult assassin bugs are usually brightly colored. I mentioned that in the previous episode as well. 2 episodes ago, actually. They're very brightly colored, and I thought, okay, maybe they're poisonous. Maybe they've got some poisonous compounds on them. But no, it turns out assassin bugs have got extremely painful stings. And that is why they are so brightly colored. They are trying to warn you that, listen, don't even bother attacking me because you are going to really, really regret it. You are going to be in so much pain that you don't even want it. So they actually protect themselves that way. They advertise that they've got such a venomous and painful bite that predators hopefully leave them alone. The young ones, although they also would most likely have that painful bite.
A huntsman spider, Pseudomicromata Mary, has subdued a Matabele ant. She hunts without a web, relying on speed to chase down her victims. Once she is satisfied, she will retreat to a crevice in the rock, hidden away until hunger drives her out once more.
Do love the huntsman spiders, the Sparacidae. They really are very, very cool spiders. Okay, now we've got to be careful because there is the wafer lid trapdoor spider again right there. Now I love the fact that we really are following the termites' rhythms of activity. Where they are when they're active, we are active. When they are inactive, we also do other things. We don't raid. Now the driver ants here, oh, they have gone down into the nest. You know what? Maybe we can actually attack the tail end now. Because they are basically executing the queen. That's most likely what's happening now. There are some more coming along, so of course they've laid down the trail. They are heading out in the direction to the nest of the termites. They're getting a bunch of food, and they are going back to their temporary nest, which, unlike the army ants, are not a temporary bivouac made up of their own bodies. Instead, they make a nest underground, a temporary nest underground, under rocks and stuff like that. So not exactly the same like as the Eceton army ants, but in ecological function, very, very similar. And like with the Eceton army ants, they can also be very, very destructive.
The ants are generally smaller than the Matabele. Their majors are formidable opponents on the battlefield. Their huge armored heads power broad jaws more than powerful enough to crush even the largest Matabele soldiers. The driver ant invaders pressed into the heart of the northwestern mound, finishing off the last of the defenders and slaughtering the termite queen and king. Single-minded in their pursuit of meat, the drivers set their sights to the south. Without intervention, the termites will fall quickly.
Ish. Okay, and of course, here comes another bunch of ants. Another bunch of driver ants. But as I was saying, they can also be very destructive. If you are an ant's nest, for example, or something along those lines, these driver ants coming into your environment can be very, very bad news, basically. Okay, so this bunch have passed. Now let's go attack the group returning with food, so that we can steal some of it for ourselves. Unfortunately, a lot of these are termite eggs. We don't really want those. We actually really want the big food parts over there, the termite pieces. Unfortunately, I think we may have we've just been wiped out. We did not have... Oh, goodness. We did not nearly have enough soldiers to actually take them on. And now there's Nagama as well. Why, oh why. You know what? This does mean we can go into that nest and go and eat the queen. And that will allow us to actually have a quick look at the queen again. So, while our queen, the Matabele Ant queen, is not that much larger than our soldiers, or at least the big soldiers, the queen, of course, of the termites are massive. Oh, we can actually grab a bunch of eggs here still that are just ever so slightly falling into the floor at the moment. So we're at the last bit of getting some of these eggs here. But as you can see here, the queen of the termite, of course, as we've seen in the actual termite missions, massive. So let's have a look at her. As you can see, there is... This looks like the backside. Where's the head? I need the head. There we go. There's the head. Okay, so there we go. There is, of course, the head of the termite queen. There is the thorax, or the chest area. And then this swollen white blob. That will be the abdomen of the termite. And at the back, you'll notice... These weird little pokies at the back. These are the cerci. Cerci, remember, we also have with things like the earwigs. We have them with cockroaches as well. Crickets will also have them. A whole group of insects, a whole bunch of them, will actually have those little two appendages at the back there called cerci. And depending on the species, they will have different roles or different functions. In termites, I'm not exactly sure what it does. Maybe a sensory role, but I know in earwigs they're of course used to pinch one another, grab one another during territorial fights, to attract a partner, those types of things. But the queen termite here, really characterized of course by this massive swollen body over here. Generally quite light in color, but darker bands running along it. Now, before this queen actually became so engorged with eggs, a term we call physogastrism, or she became physogastric, these bands actually formed the normal abdomen of the termite. There was no white fluffy stuff or blobby stuff between these bands. Now that she is so engorged, though, these are the only really strengthened parts of this termite's body. So normally, as an alit, she would look very similar to the way the king looks, like darker in color throughout, quite small, much smaller than she is here. And these sections are what we call sclerotized. In other words, they are hardened and strengthened. So now as she is engorged like this, as she is physogastric, these bands offer some rigidity or some strength, but really not a lot. I mean, you can see they only run like this. They don't actually run down the body as well. So It allows some flexibility. I mean, she can not really move around. I mean, there's no way she can drag herself really with her teeny tiny little legs, this mass over here. Her function is really just to stay put and lay a lot of eggs. The king, of course, will also technically be running around here. He is dead though, so you can't see him at the moment. But he would be here and he would constantly mate with her. As long as they are alive, he will mate with her. And they will then bear eggs, and those fertilized eggs in termites will develop into the workers and the soldiers, and they of course can be both sexes. They can be males or females. In ants, very different in that all the ant workers and soldiers are female. They're not both sexes, unlike with the termites here. Although they are very similar in appearance and how they function, termites and ants are not related at all. I mean, these guys are basically related more to cockroaches. They most likely originated from wood-eating cockroaches somewhere in the Jurassic, I think it was. Maybe the Cretaceous, but I think it was late Jurassic that they originated from those wood-eating cockroaches. So they're more cockroaches, whereas the Hymenoptera includes the ants, the bees, the wasps, those types of creatures. But yeah, so this is of course now a lovely meal for us. So we are going to bring our soldiers over to come and actually eat this queen over here, and then we are really hopefully going to build up our numbers, because one thing I've learned, we need a lot more soldiers. We don't have nearly enough. So let's do that, shall we? Okay, thankfully we're not running around now, because look at that, there are 2 assassin bugs here with ants on their backside with a corpse camouflage. There's a big earwig, there's a lovely wafer lid trapdoor spider. I mean, that trapdoor spider did not go for that big earwig because that is too big. It most likely could sense that is something too big. Even that normal earwig just went through. So clearly this is a bit more of an ant specialist, that trapdoor spider there. There's another one over there. Oh goodness me, there are so many. Oh, another one. Oh, they're all over the place. Anyway, let's hopefully not encounter anything dangerous on the way to this nest to eat the queen. And let's start getting more soldiers. There you go, the stink ants. They have just also raided the termite mound there. Most likely this termite mound to the southwest, the one that will also be raided again today. I think here are the driver ants actually coming back. There we go, there comes the first medium worker. Yeah, unfortunately, they're back. You know what, I think it might actually be better for us if we just come over to raid the termite mound to the northeast a bit.
The driver ant menace has returned, and the termite soldiers gather at their mound's entrance to repel the invasion. A brave effort, but futile.
Hopefully not too futile.
Will not hold.
And there the soldiers are. They are the medium soldiers, the major soldiers, everyone gathered together. As mentioned, these are not the Nasuti termites. These are not the snouted termites that will actually be spraying chemicals onto their attackers. Instead, those termites will just be attacking with their mandibles. And that is how they will try to defend themselves against these driver ants coming to invade them.
A few moments later.
Run, little ones. No, you are gonna die. Yeah, that is just stupid. Okay, bye. Well, luckily we did get some food there, thankfully, so we can add another. I believe we'll be able to add about 3 extra soldiers, 3 new soldiers, hopefully. Alright, but that is where we're going to call it today, everybody. So thank you very much for joining us on a little adventure over here. It was a little bit shorter than usual, but we'll be back on Tuesday then to complete this mission, and hopefully things go well. And then of course Nic and I will also be live streaming Enshrouded again this Sunday evening, 6 o'clock until 9 o'clock South African time. So come and join us for a nice relaxing stream then. And until next time everybody, stay safe. We'll see you all soon. Bye.